Hi there, I'm Toby Richards, and today we're going to be shooting high-speed photography using the Hähnel Captur. The photograph I'm looking to shoot is of a fire breather the moment that the plume is at its largest. The timing is really difficult to get the shot right, but using the light sensor of the Captur, we can automate the process and fire the camera shutter at exactly the right moment. So for this shoot, we're using the Hähnel Captur Module Pro with both a capture receiver and a transmitter attached to the camera, and 2 additional receiver units, each attached to a speed light. When our fire breather starts, the Module Pro will be triggered by the flame, and after a set delay, the camera shutter will be fired, with both flashes also firing in sync with the camera. We're shooting in an old metalworks in London today, and because we'll be working in very low light conditions, the fact that the whole capture system is wireless makes life really simple and a lot safer. The Captur transmitter slots easily onto the camera's hot shoe, and the supplied cable connects the receiver to the camera's remote control terminal. And adding more speed lights is very easy. You just need an additional capture receiver for each one. I'm going to turn the sensitivity of the unit down for this shoot to make sure it's only being triggered by the plume and not by the lighting stick. A quick brief, a few test shots. So we're all set and we're ready to go. The shot I want is just a few milliseconds after an air pellet is fired into a light bulb, so we can see the exact moment the glass is blown out of the back of it. It's a really tough shot to get, with absolutely no margin for error. For this shoot, we're using the Hähnel Captur Module Pro, 2 capture receiver units attached to 2 speed lights, and we're creating a corridor of light using a piece of card underneath the flashes, and light flags attached to C-stands either side. This whole shoot is only possible because of the audio sensor on the Module Pro, which will respond to the sound of the air pistol firing. A quick test to check the Captur is triggering the flashes. Reducing the sensitivity of the unit ensures it will only trigger above a threshold I set, and not to any ambient sound in the studio. Everything's looking good, so it's time to get started. The Captur is activated, lights are turned off, and the camera is set to countdown. The shot I want is of the precise moment that a balloon filled with water is burst, so we can see the water droplets hanging in the air, frozen in time. Without the Captur, this would be a really tough photograph to get right, but the device is going to automate the process. For this shoot, we're going to use the Hähnel Captur Module Pro and Infra Red module, 2 capture receiver units attached to 2 speed lights, with light flags attached to C-stands either side. Using a manual exposure of 5 seconds for each shot, we'll be dropping the balloon from a bar set up behind our capture devices. The balloon will then fall through our infrared beam, triggering the Module Pro. After a set delay, the Module Pro will then trigger the speed lights, and what's left of the balloon and the water will fall into an inflatable pool below. So we're setting the shot up in a lightproof studio. The speed lights are on manual, have been set to their shortest flash duration, and the capture receiver units have already been synced to the Module Pro. This system is really straightforward to use, and getting the IR device aligned only takes a few seconds. Captur is triggering the flashes perfectly when the balloon passes through the infrared beam. A quick test to check everything's set up okay, and we're ready to go. I want to take a photograph the exact moment that a crossbow travelling at several hundred feet per second is fired into a grapefruit. The Captur is going to automate the process, detecting the precise moment the bolt is fired, then firing a pair of speed lights. For this shoot, we're using the Hähnel Captur Module Pro, 2 capture receiver units attached to 2 speed lights, and we'll be flagging off the rear one of these using some props that we brought with us. We used a stereo jack to phono cable connected to crocodile clips, which create the circuit through a piece of aluminium foil wrapped around the crossbow string, and will trigger the speed lights when the crossbow is fired and a circuit is broken.
The Module Pro has been set to auxiliary mode, a quick test to check the flashes are firing when we break the circuit. So we're setting the shot up in a lightproof studio, freezing our moment in time using the flash from our speed lights.
The photograph I'm looking to shoot is a macro shot of some milk drops at the precise moment they bounce off a surface and back into the air. It's a really difficult shot to get the timing right for, but the laser input of the capture is going to automatically detect the drops and remotely control a pair of speed lights at exactly the right moment.
For this shoot, we're using the Hähnel Capture Module Pro, a laser pen, 2 capture receiver units attached to 2 speed lights, and we're using one of the light flags as a backdrop for our photo. When we release the drop of milk, the laser beam will break and the Module Pro will trigger the speed lights. So we're setting the shot up in a lightproof studio. We're using an electric system to create our drops, but a pipette or a syringe body without the needle attached would have worked just fine. Getting the laser and the Module Pro aligned is really straightforward. I'm just going to run a quick test to check the system's working. One of the great features of the capture is the ability to change the delay, and this is going to allow us the flexibility to control exactly when our photo is taken. A quick focus check, and then I'm ready to go.